So welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be discussing about SUMIFS function. In my last video we discussed about the SUMIF function. So today we'll be discussing about the SUMIFS function, the count ifs, the average ifs, or the ifs function. Alright, so let's go into it. I said in my last video I explained that SUMIF can just be used to check a single condition. But when you're talking about the SUMIFS function, it means you are checking more than one condition. It could be one, it could be two, it could be three, as many conditions as you have. So today we are working on the salary on our employee data. So we want to know the total salary, the average salary, and also the number of employee based on two conditions, and the two conditions are gender and also the status of their work, either full-time or part-time, that are female or male. So let's dive into it straight up. Right, let's calculate for the total salary for male and female under the full-time scope of work. So let's go. We have some ifs, then we have sum range. So the sum range is the value that you are calculating for. So we are calculating for our salary. So that's our sum range. The data that you are calculating for, the value you are calculating for. Alright, let's go. So we have the criteria range 1. The criteria range 1 could be any of the two, either the status or the gender. So, but for me, I prefer to go with the status as my criteria range 1. So, I'm going to select my range, and after selecting the range, I have the criteria. So, the criteria I'm checking right now is full-time. So, let me select my full-time. Alright, I can then go to my criteria range 2. My criteria range 2 is the gender. So, let me go straight to the gender. Alright, then I'm calculating for the male, so I'm selecting the male as the criteria for the criteria range 2. Then I have this. So $243,500 is spent on male worker in the full-time status. Right, let's go for the female. So we can have some ifs, then the sum range, the range we are calculating for, which is our salary range, then the criteria range 1, we have our criteria range 1, then we are calculating for full-time, then the criteria range 2, then we are calculating for the female. Alright, wow, this is $351,850. So it means the company is actually spending more on the female workers than the male worker. Probably, maybe they have high number of female than the male. Alright, let's go to the average salary. So we have average is okay. I can let me copy this. Alright, when I get to my average is, so the only thing that is changing is my formula, which is average ifs. So I can still copy and put my formula. Right, let me delete that. So average ifs for the criteria range, then I have this. So average salary for a male that is full-time is $34,785. So let's calculate for the full-time female average is. Alright, let's go. Let's use the normal method here. So we have the salary range as our average range. That's the range we are calculating for. Then the criteria range 1 as the full-time or part-time range. Then we are selecting the full-time range. Then we are going to criteria range 2, which is this. Alright, criteria range 2. Then our criteria here will be female. Alright, Let's go. So we have $39,094. Wow, that goes a long way. Right, let's calculate the number of employees that are under full time. Maybe you can see that here. Count ifs. All right, the criteria range 1. We want to count. The criteria range 1 will be our full-time range or part-time range. So the criteria we are checking here is the full-time range, and the criteria range 2 will be either female or male. So let's go. So we have this. All right, so we are checking for male. So count male that are full-time. That is what we just did here. Count male that are full-time workers. All right. So male that are full-time workers are just 7. Okay, let's go to female. We have count ifs. Then the criteria range 1. Let's check this. We have the criteria range 1, and the criteria is what? Full-time. Then the criteria range 2. Let's check for this. All right. And then the criteria is what? Female. So let's go. Wow. So we have 9 females that are full-time workers. Then we also have 7 males that are full-time workers. Okay, right now let's go to the part-time workers. So we are doing same thing as we have done in the first place. The only syntax that is changing now is the part-time part of it. So we can just work around that. So let's be fast with that. So we have our SUMIFS. All right, sum range, criteria range 1, then part-time, no more, full-time. Then the criteria range 2, that are male. So we are spending $61,925. All right, let's move on to the female. So we have SUMIFS, the sum range, then the criteria range 1. All right, part-time, criteria range 2, that are female. Wow, so we are spending less on female on the part-time. All right, so let's just copy this and then use our average if. So we can just come here and use average ifs for that. So this is the average salary of a part-time worker. All right, so let's come to this and copy this also. We have, so from here we can just have our average ifs. All right, so we have 12,000 and then 10,000 respectively for the part-time worker. So we can just count ifs here. Let's count ifs. So the criteria range is our criteria range 1. Then we are checking for the part-time. And the criteria range 2. Then we are checking for male. So we just have 5 males that are part-time workers. Then let's go to this count ifs. We have our criteria range 1 to be full-time. Then criteria part-time Then let's go to, all right, this. Then the criteria is female. Wow. So we have same numbers of employee, both male and female for the part-time, but for full-time we have different number. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you understand how to use your sum ifs function, average ifs, and also the count ifs function. Please, if you like this video, subscribe to this channel and I'll be dropping more of Excel functions. So